Jack Harlow stared at the blue planet through the viewport of Mars Mining Station 12. His shift had ended an hour ago, but he couldn't look away. Earth looked peaceful from here. The same swirling clouds and blue oceans he'd grown up seeing in photos before taking this job. The first flash came without warning. A bright spot on the night side of Earth like someone had struck a match. Then another, and another. What the hell? Jack pressed his face against the cold glass. The comm unit on his belt buzzed. He ignored it. More flashes now. Dozens. Hundreds. The station's alert system began to wail. All personnel report to emergency stations. Unknown orbital activity detected around Earth. This is not a drill. Jack ran. The narrow corridors of the mining station filled with confused workers. He pushed past them, heading for the command center. The station supervisor, Rivera, stood frozen before the main screen. "What's happening?" Jack asked, out of breath. Rivera didn't answer. On screen, massive ships had appeared in Earth orbit. They weren't human designs. They fired continuous beams into the atmosphere. "Those are bombardment patterns," someone whispered. "They're targeting population centers." Jack felt his legs go weak. His parents were in Chicago. His sister in London. The comm systems exploded with distress calls. Military channels, civilian broadcasts, emergency beacons, all screaming for help that wouldn't come. "The lunar defense platforms are firing back," Rivera said, voice hollow, not making a dent. 6 hours. That's how long it took. 6 hours to burn 80% of Earth's surface. The alien ships, the news was calling them the Concordat, were methodical. They targeted military installations first, then major cities, then infrastructure. Jack sat alone in his quarters, staring at the wall. The station's AI had compiled survivor lists. 12 million humans left alive across the solar system. Earth's population had been 11 billion yesterday. His family wasn't on the lists. The door chimed. Jack didn't answer. It slid open anyway. "Harlow, you need to see this." It was Chen from communications. "We intercepted a coded transmission, military grade. It was addressed to you." Jack looked up. "To me? That's impossible." Chen handed him a data pad. "It's from someone named Alex Harlow." Jack grabbed it. "My brother. He worked in military intelligence." The message was heavily encrypted. Jack's hands shook as he entered the family passphrase they'd used since childhood. The screen flickered, then showed his brother's face. Alex looked exhausted, a cut above his eye still bleeding. "Jack, if you're seeing this, I'm probably dead. The attack wasn't random. They fear us, Jack. Not for what we've done, but for what we might become." Alex looked over his shoulder. "I don't have time. There's a facility beneath Olympus Colony. Coordinates attached. Dad helped build it. It contains prototype tech that might give us a chance." The message ended. Jack stared at the final frame of his brother's face. "When did this come in?" Jack asked. "During the attack, we're only sorting through backlogged transmissions now." Jack stood up. "I need transport to Olympus Colony." "That's crazy. The Concordat has patrols everywhere. They killed my family. They killed everyone." Jack grabbed his emergency pack. "I'm going." 3 days later, Jack stood before a hidden door in an abandoned maintenance tunnel beneath Olympus Colony. His brother's coordinates had been perfect. The door recognized his DNA. Harlow family access, just as Alex had promised. Inside, darkness. Then lights flickered on automatically, revealing a massive chamber filled with technology Jack didn't recognize. At the center, a spherical console pulsed with soft blue light. Jack approached it cautiously. When his hand touched the surface, the sphere opened like a flower. A voice spoke from hidden speakers. "Contingency protocol activated. Harlow genetic signature confirmed. Humanity survival probability. Calculating." The facility hummed to life around Jack. Screens lit up along the walls, showing data streams he couldn't understand. The blue sphere projected a holographic map of the solar system, red dots marking Concordat ship positions. Survival probability at current force levels, 0.03%, the AI said. Its voice was flat, emotionless. Jack slammed his fist on the console. Not good enough. Agreed. Recommend immediate recruitment of essential personnel. The AI displayed 4 profiles. Jack recognized one face immediately. Diane Reeves, the xenobiologist who had given a controversial talk at the Mars Science Conference last year. She had claimed alien biology would be fundamentally similar to human biology. People had laughed at her. No one was laughing now. These people are still alive? Jack asked. Confirmed. All 4 subjects are within retrievable distance. Jack studied the other faces. Kyle Winters, a military engineer discharged for radical weapons designs. Elena Vasquez, an AI specialist who had worked with his brother. And Sam Donovan, a pilot with the Mars Defense Force. How do I find them? The AI displayed a map. Dr. Reeves is closest, Phobos Medical Station. 2 days later, Jack docked a stolen maintenance shuttle at Phobos. The station was overcrowded with refugees. No one questioned another tired face. He found Diane Reeves treating burn victims in a makeshift ward. Dr. Reeves, Jack said, I need 5 minutes. She didn't look up from her patient. Unless you're bleeding, I don't have 5 seconds. Jack placed his brother's military ID on her table. Alex Harlow sent me. Her hands froze. She looked at the ID, then at Jack. Follow me. In a supply closet, Diane crossed her arms. Alex is dead, isn't he? Jack nodded. But he left me a message and coordinates to a secret facility. The Architect Project, she whispered. You know about it? Rumors. Alex consulted me about alien neurology last year. She rubbed her eyes. What do you want from me? Help me understand why they attacked us, and how we fight back. Diane laughed bitterly. Fight back? Against the Concordat? They have technology centuries beyond ours. The facility has weapons, experimental tech. It won't be enough. Then we'll die fighting instead of hiding. Something changed in her eyes. Let me get my research data. One by one, Jack gathered the team. Kyle Winters was hiding in an abandoned mining outpost. Elena Vasquez was already trying to hack Concordat communications. Sam Donovan joined after Concordat ships destroyed the refugee transport he was protecting. Back at the facility, Diane explained what she had discovered. The Concordat didn't attack randomly, she said, displaying brain scans. Human neural patterns are unique. We can form connections with technology in ways other species can't. That's why they fear us? Kyle asked. They fear what we might connect with. Diane pointed to ancient symbols in her data. There's technology out there older than any known civilization. The Concordat knows about it. Selena looked up from her console. I've decrypted more of Alex's files. There's a hidden fleet, built in secret over the last decade. Where? Jack asked. Neptune's dark side, completely off standard patrol routes. Sam studied the navigational data. We'd need to slip past 3 Concordat patrol lines. Can you do it? Jack asked. Sam smiled for the first time since they'd met. Watch me. The journey took 2 weeks. They hid in debris fields powered down while patrols passed, and once flew dangerously close to a gas giant's atmosphere to mask their heat signature. When they finally reached the coordinates, they found nothing. There's nothing here, Kyle said, staring at empty space. Jack looked at Elena. Are you sure this is right? Before she could answer, a massive shape appeared as cloaking technology deactivated. A shipyard carved into an ice moon. Dozens of sleek warships waited in silent docks. As they approached, their comms crackled. Unidentified vessel. Hold position or be destroyed. We're human, Jack transmitted. We've come to fight back. A pause. Then, prove it. Before Jack could respond, a new ship appeared beside them. Larger, with weapons locked on their position. Prepare to be boarded, the voice said. We've captured a Concordat officer. He says humans were never the target. They were trying to save us. Jack stood with his team in a stark metal room aboard the warship. Armed guards watched their every move. The door slid open, and a woman in a black uniform entered. Her face was hard, eyes scanning each of them before stopping on Jack. "I'm Commander Lena Walsh," she said. "You claim to be from the Architect Project." Jack stepped forward. "My brother was Alex Harlow. He sent me coordinates to a facility on Mars." Walsh studied him. "Prove it." Jack handed her the data chip from the facility. She inserted it into a reader, eyes widening as she scanned the contents. "Bring in the prisoner," she ordered. 2 guards dragged in a creature with gray skin and 4 eyes. Its limbs were thin, body wrapped in a metallic suit. The alien looked at the humans with what seemed like sadness. "Tell them what you told me," Walsh demanded. The alien's voice came through a translator. "The attack on Earth was not meant to destroy humanity. It was meant to save it." "By killing 11 billion people?" Jack shouted, lunging forward. Guards held him back. "From something worse," the alien said, "the Architect." Diane stepped closer. "What is the Architect?" "An ancient artificial intelligence created by the first ones before all our civilizations existed. It was designed to guide evolution across the galaxy." "And this justifies genocide?" Elena asked. "The Architect doesn't guide anymore, it consumes, it bonds with compatible species and uses them to spread. Your neural patterns are perfect for it." Walsh nodded to a screen on the wall. It showed footage of a massive structure buried in the ice of Titan. Jack recognized his brother standing among the research team. 3 years ago, we found a fragment of the Architect, Walsh explained. Your brother's team was studying it. "Where is he now?" Jack asked. Walsh's face hardened. "Dead, along with most of his team, but not before they learned something terrible." The alien spoke again. "Some of your leaders knew about the attack, they agreed to it." The room went silent. Jack felt sick. "That's impossible," Kyle said. "Is it?" Walsh asked. "A controlled sacrifice of Earth to prevent the Architect from awakening fully. Some of your leaders thought it was worth it." Jack remembered his brother's words. "They fear what we might become." "The Concordat attacked to destroy any humans who might have been exposed to Architect signals," the alien continued. "But they were too late. The fragment on Titan had already activated." Walsh turned to Jack. "Your brother's last message said you might be compatible with the Architect interface. We need to test you." They took him to a lab. A small silver sphere sat on a pedestal, pulsing with faint blue light. The same technology he'd seen in the Mars facility. "This is a control node," Walsh explained. "If you can connect with it, we might have a chance against the Concordat." "And if the Architect takes over my mind?" Jack asked. "Then we kill you," she said simply. Jack placed his hands on the sphere. At first, nothing happened. Then pain shot through his head. Images flooded his mind. Stars, planets, civilizations rising and falling, and coordinates. A specific location in an unexplored system. "I can see it," Jack gasped. "The full Architect system. I know where it is." Walsh looked at the readings. His neural patterns are integrating with the technology, but he's maintaining autonomy. "We need to go to these coordinates," Jack said, the pain subsiding. "The Architect isn't what the Concordat thinks. It's not just a weapon. It's..." The ship's alarms blared. A voice came over the speakers. "Concordat fleet detected. Battle stations." Jack grabbed the sphere as the first impacts rocked the ship. The connection deepened. Through the Architect link, he saw weapon systems he didn't understand. His mind reached out, took control. Energy surged from the ship, tearing through a Concordat cruiser. Jack watched through the Architect's eyes, feeling the destruction as if he had caused it with his bare hands. And with that feeling came memories. Not his own. Memories of worlds burning, civilizations erased, all by the same power now flowing through him. The battle ended as quickly as it began. Jack stood shaking, hands still gripping the sphere. 3 Concordat ships destroyed. The rest had fled. "What did you do?" Walsh asked, staring at the tactical display. Jack could barely speak. "I saw how to target their drive systems. The Architect showed me." The room fell silent. Everyone looked at him with a mixture of awe and fear. We need to go to these coordinates, Jack said, pointing to the star map. Now. Walsh shook her head. Not everyone agrees. Half the fleet wants revenge, not understanding. The architect is the only way we survive, Jack insisted. Or the thing that destroys what's left of us, said a new voice. Admiral Vance entered the room, tall, with a scarred face and cold eyes. I've seen the reports. This architect technology is too dangerous. We don't have a choice, Jack argued. We always have a choice, Vance replied. Mine is to strike back at the Concordate with everything we have. The fleet split within hours. Vance took half the ships to attack Concordate outposts. Walsh, Jack, and the others set course for the coordinates in the unexplored system. 3 ships. That's all that followed them. 3 against the vastness of space and whatever waited at the coordinates. Jack spent the journey connected to the sphere, learning. The architect was vast, ancient. It had watched civilizations rise and fall for millions of years. It's not evil, he told Diane as they stood in the observation deck, watching stars streak by. It's a tool, like fire. It depends who controls it. And that would be you? She asked. Jack had no answer. They arrived at the coordinates after 2 weeks. A gas giant with swirling storms of blue and green. Nothing special at first glance. There's nothing here, Kyle said, checking sensors. Look deeper, Jack replied. He placed his hands on the control panel. The ship's sensors recalibrated, scanning frequencies no human had thought to check before. The image changed. Inside the gas giant's atmosphere, a structure appeared. Massive, geometric, impossible. That's bigger than Earth, Elena whispered. Jack nodded. It's the full architect system, the heart of it. They took a shuttle down. The gas giant's storms parted before them as if the planet itself welcomed them. The structure grew larger in their viewport. Not metal, not stone. Something else. Something alive. They landed on a flat surface that shifted to accommodate their ship. Doors opened in the structure. It's inviting us in, Sam said. Inside, they found a chamber larger than any human building. At its center, a column of light pulsed with colors they had no names for. Jack walked toward it. Each step felt right. Inevitable. Jack, wait, Diane called. We don't know what it will do to you. I do, he said. It will change me. Change all of us. The light reached out to him. Jack saw the truth then. The architect hadn't been designed to prune evolutionary branches. It had been designed to protect them. But somewhere, someone, its purpose had been corrupted. Jack touched the light. Knowledge flooded him. The Concordate hadn't attacked Earth to save the galaxy. They had attacked to keep the architect for themselves. And now, they were coming here, a massive fleet, larger than the one that had burned Earth. Jack turned to his friends, his eyes now glowing with the same light as the column. We have hours before they arrive, he said, his voice layered with power. I can use the architect to create a shield around this system, a place for humans to survive. Or? Diane asked, sensing there was more. Or I can use it as it was used before, to burn worlds, to end the Concordate forever. The chamber trembled as the architect responded to his thoughts. On screens around them, they saw the approaching Concordate armada. Hundreds of ships, weapons ready. What will you choose? Walsh asked. Jack stood in the light, power coursing through him. The architect showed him paths of destruction. How easy it would be to reach out and crush the Concordate fleet, to burn their worlds as they had burned Earth. No, he said aloud. No? Walsh asked. They killed billions of us. Jack stepped back from the light, though the connection remained. If we destroy them, we become what they feared, what the architect was corrupted to be. Then what? Kyle demanded. We just die here? We fight, Jack said, but on our terms. Through his link with the architect, Jack reshaped the structure. The walls shifted. New systems came online. The gas giant's atmosphere began to churn with energy. Get back to the ships, Jack ordered. Prepare for battle. The Concordate fleet arrived in a flash of light. Hundreds of warships, weapons hot. Their first volley struck the gas giant's upper atmosphere. Jack felt the impacts through the architect. He pushed back. Not with destruction, but with defense. A shield formed around the human ships, around the structure. "They're hailing us," Elena reported from her station. The main screen showed an alien face, the Concordate Supreme Commander. "Surrender the architect," it demanded, "or be destroyed like your homeworld." Jack stepped forward. The alien flinched at the sight of his glowing eyes. "You lied," Jack said. "You didn't attack Earth to save the galaxy. You attacked because you feared competition." "The architect belongs to those who can control it," the commander replied. "Like you?" Jack laughed. "You can't even approach it without your ships failing." As if on cue, the front line of Concordate vessels began to drift. Their engines sputtered and died as the architect's influence spread. "What are you doing?" the commander demanded. "Showing you what humans can do," Jack said. He reached out through the architect. Not to destroy, but to reveal. He broadcast the truth to every ship in the Concordate fleet. How their leaders had known about the architect for centuries. How they had used fragments of its technology to dominate other species. How Earth was sacrificed not to save the galaxy, but to keep humans from claiming their place in it. The Concordate fleet faltered. Ships began to break formation as crews from different species received the truth. "Your coalition is breaking," Jack said. "They know what you did." "This changes nothing," the commander snarled. "We still have the firepower to destroy you." "Try," Jack challenged. The battle that followed was unlike any in human history. The Concordate attacked with everything they had. Jack and the architect defended. Not just with shields, but with precision strikes that disabled rather than destroyed. Hours passed. The Concordate lost ship after ship, not to destruction, but to surrender. Species that had been forced or tricked into the coalition turned on their leaders. When it ended, the Supreme Commander's ship stood alone. "You could destroy me now," the commander said. "Why don't you?" "Because that's what you would do," Jack replied. "Not what we do." The terms were simple. The Concordate would recognize human space, a small region around the gas giant and what remained of the solar system, a place to rebuild. 1 month later, Jack stood on the observation deck of the new human flagship. Through the viewport, he could see construction ships building the first colony around the architect's structure. Walsh joined him. "The refugees from Mars arrived today. First of many." "Good," Jack said. "They deserve a home." "The Concordate is still out there," she reminded him. "They might try again." Jack nodded. "They might, but they'll find something they don't expect." "What's that?" "That humans aren't special because we're stronger or smarter." Jack watched as a shuttle of children arrived at the colony. The firstborn after Earth. "We're special because we can choose a different path than the one history laid out for us." The architect pulsed in his mind, no longer alien, no longer threatening. A tool, waiting for the right hands to shape it. "The galaxy watched Earth burn," Jack said quietly. "Now they'll watch us build something new from the ashes."